Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Pretty Suited Podcast, where we discuss career, culture, and the commitment to being our best selves. I'm your host, Lauren A., and it is the weekend of the lovers, okay? It is Valentine's Day weekend. Technically, Valentine's Day is, I think, Monday or Tuesday or something like that, but this is the weekend that, lovers and couples and friends are getting together and just, celebrating love. Let Instagram tell it or let social media tell it there's no love in the world. But, I think if we are intentional about it, we can really show some love today. So your girl just had a birthday a few weeks ago. Shout out to all my Aquarius sisters out there. And honestly, I've just been reflecting a lot on this birthday because I have made a vow to myself that, the past few years have just been so heavy that I'm just going to really start doing a lot more things that make me happy. I don't care if it's Saturday morning, watching cartoons with my legs crossed, eating a bowl of cereal. I don't care. If that's what makes me happy, I'm going to do it. Honestly, that's just how I feel right now. Same thing with my career. Like, I'm going to go after the things I want. I'm going to, do a good job at work and do fulfilling work. I'm going to be creative and enhance my podcast and my media services. I'm going to travel more. I don't care if it's going, 2-3 hours down the road and staying at a hotel, with some friends or my boo or something like that. Like, this year is Lauren doing what she want year. So I'm excited about that because it's overdue, honestly. Like I said, the past few years have been just super heavy for me. And so now I'm really starting to kick it up a notch in me being intentional about my happiness. So, and y'all, this is going to be a short episode because I know everybody got to get to, their loves and their friends and their galentines and felentines and all the other times that we're doing this weekend. So, but I really just wanted to shed light on a few topics today. I wanted to get into a topic that it was kind of interesting, but really fitting for the season that we're all in. And that's planning your harvest, right? So I read this really interesting meme that said, why won't you let winter be winter? Why do you expect a harvest when it's supposed to be your time of rest? Quick fact, did you guys know that, the Western world or the Western culture really goes by the Gregorian calendar? Really, pretty much the whole world goes by the Gregorian calendar, but in many places, the culture really celebrates a different kind of calendar. So, for example, the Gregorian calendar is the normal or the one that we use most often, which is January through December, right? In the 4 seasons and all that good stuff. But there's another calendar called the lunar calendar where the beginning of the year starts in February. And then there's other people who say, well, the beginning of the year is actually an Aries season, which is the start of spring. So it just depends on your culture and your practices of what calendar that you use. But if we're going by the Gregorian calendar, which we use here in the United States, it doesn't really make sense if you think about it. For example, winter is like what, the end of December to February, right? Or the end of December to March. Food and vegetables and things that are grown in the warmer months, they die during the winter. So why are we as humans planning and doing and being super active during months when the rest of the earth isn't acting that way? So same thing when it goes with our goals and our dreams. Like, we are planning things out and we're, trying to reap a harvest during winter months, when we honestly should be allowing this time to allow our bodies to rest, to, not hibernate. Nobody's telling you to go to sleep or anything like that for 4 months. But I really think that, we should change our perspective a little bit and give ourselves a little bit more grace during our winter periods. Now, it may not even necessarily be actually winter, where we're supposed to be resting. But I think, in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to our life happening in like seasons where we plant a seed, we water the seed, and then we watch the seed grow. Then we harvest the seed. Then we go back again. We plant the seed. We water the seed. So it's supposed to be going in a cycle like that. And when we try to work out of the cycle, we get super frustrated that things aren't going our way, but we're out of cycle. So of course it's not going to go our way. And I think we kind of have to be mindful of that a little bit, because I find myself sometimes too. And I know a lot of it has to actually do with seasons, right? In the winter seasons, and how a lot of times with the snow and it's all dreary and melancholy, and it's a gray and it's raining and things like that. You don't necessarily feel your best, honestly. Science shows that in the winter months, people are more likely to have depression because of the lack of sunlight. You know what I'm saying? So, like the sunlight that gives you the vitamin D, the sunlight that helps with all the rest of your vitamins, B12 and B6 and things like that help, stimulate blood cells, and that help, increase your mood. Like all those things that happen during when you're in sunlight, you don't lack those things when it's wintertime. So we have to do our actual best to like try to get as much sun as we can to, stock up on our supplements and take them. And I don't care if it's a Flintstone vitamin, do what you got to do to get your vitamins up. And so that way, not only is it good for your immune system, right, with colds and flus and stuff like that, but it's also good for your mood and your mental health. So I was thinking about that the other day because I found myself kind of getting down, like, I should be doing this. I want to do this. I just had a birthday. I need to be. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. First of all, it's cold outside. Like, what are we doing here? What are we talking about here? I don't need to be the most active, the most active or the most productive or whatever the case may be during a time where, for one, it's super cold outside. It's very dreary. I've been running all year. When have I actually had time to actually rest? You know what I'm saying? So give yourself some grace. It's going to warm up in a couple of months. You can start, gearing up then. But during this time, how about I just start planning? How about I put some things aside? How about I, start saving a little bit more during this time? How about I, stock up on my teas and eat good during this time? Because I know during the warmer months, things are going to really change for me. And when I started to shift that perspective, I just started feeling so much better. Honestly, I really just started feeling so much better, and I just started to have more hope for the future. So I know that in recent headlines, we had no choice but to read as of course, Grammy Award winning Best New Artist, Victoria Monet. Basically, I guess last year she was told by the Grammys or the VMAs or somebody that it wasn't her time to perform. Victoria Monet had a hot summer last summer. Her song "Oh My Mama" was pretty much, inescapable. I even played it for one of my tunes of the week during a previous podcast. So she's been doing really good. She's super duper talented, been out for years. Okay. So she knows what she's talking about when it comes to waiting your time, right? Because if you have been writing for artists like, Ariana Grande and things like that, for years. For years you played the background. For years you showed up and you gave it your best, but you were able to allow others to shine. And then what, 7 to 10 years later, you're able to get your flowers and your accolades. Like, she couldn't help but break down on stage. Like, how long has it taken her to get there? But if she would have given up, if she would have said, it's never going to happen for me. I'm only going to be a writer. I'm not meant to be a artist or a singer, and I'm just going to give everything to Ariana Grande. If she would have thought that way, we wouldn't be here today. But she put in the effort and she put in the time to do what she had to do. And it's paid off for her. So I'm super proud of her. I'm super excited for all the things that she's accomplished, because She's one of those artists that's very versatile, and her pen is ridiculous. Her words and her metaphors and similes, and the way she writes a song. So I'm excited about that, honestly. The first thing I think about sometimes too is like when I used to be an educator, I used to tell my students, I said, you have the capability of doing X, Y, and Z. You just need a little bit more time and experience in order for you to kind of, reach these goals. And there you could just see like the disappointment in their face, right? Of thinking that it's never going to happen, or they want it right now, right? Because we live in a society that's very instant gratification, right? Everything is microwave, everything is right now, when I want it and how I want it. But when you think like that, you kind of stifle your opportunities to be able to grow, because if you're put in a position to where you may see kind of the foundation of what's going on, like for example, a writer or a entry level position or things like that, where you're able to kind of see the foundation of what you're doing and then build upon that with your skill set to become the manager, to become the artist, to become the superstar, to become the nurse or the doctor. Like once you've graduated in your experience, then you can appreciate where you came from. A lot of times people try to take the quick route to where they want to go, and they totally miss the journey. A lot of times we want to jump and be Jeff Bezos. As soon as you get your LLC certification or letter in the mail saying that you've been registered, everybody wanted to be Jeff Bezos at that point. Jeff started out in his garage or something like that with the Amazon bookstore. Like he started very small. Of course, he may have had some loans or something from his family or what have you. Same thing with Steve Jobs and stuff. Like, they started off small with an idea and cultivated that idea. So into now 10, 20, 30 years later, it's turned into a full-blown multi-billion-dollar business. So all those things come at the right time, because if you do it too soon, then you could run the risk of running out of money, right? Because you can't pay the people, or you can't sell enough product, and now you have excess, right? So all of the things, or if you do it too late, on the flip side, if you do it too late, then you probably have to play catch up now. So now you are missing out on orders because you don't have enough personnel to get it to where it needs to get to. So it's a lot that goes into timing, that I would say. If you want to talk about relationships, the relationship part of this whole harvest season is a really tricky one. Because we talking about it's Valentine's Day. The relationship part of this conversation, it could be really tricky, because I feel like you have a lot of people out here who are let's just say wasting people's time. That's the light way to put it. But yeah, people are wasting people's time in 2024. From those individuals who are afraid of commitment and, will literally milk the cow dry, or you have the ones who try to rush things too soon. So like, for example, people you just met and you already trying to control my life, you already trying to move in, you already trying to, meet the parents, and it's like, whoa, we just met last week. Why why are you trying to meet my dad? And I just met you last week. I don't even know if I remember your last name fully. So I don't think you need to meet my dad in week 2. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So like I said, the timing of it all matters in the situation when it comes to relationships, but it's individualized. Everybody's not the same. Every situation's not the same. But I think that the conversation needs to be had in the right time, and just really assess the situation first. If you guys haven't really done the work with each other, if you hadn't really seen that person in different situations, if you haven't really, gotten to know who they are, then I would say that this is the time where you need to be planting your seed for the harvest of the relationship, not necessarily trying to see the fruits just yet. But if it's like year 10, year 7 or something like that, where you guys are doing everything under the sun except for marriage, and y'all and one person in that position wants marriage. That might be a conversation that needs to happen sooner or later, because you are holding that seed underground. It's like you holding it down like this. You're like, I don't want this thing to grow. I don't want it to grow. So it's like, dang, are you strangling the plant before so it won't grow? Like, what are we doing here? Like, why are you keeping it just under, when we're doing everything that, a couple should be doing and growing, but you're just afraid to commit. So it's like you are just stifling your harvest from growing. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So watch what season you're trying to do things in, because it may not be your season for this particular thing. Yeah. And I also want to give a shout out to all the other winners of the Grammys, because honestly, in every like hip hop R&B category, even producer category and things like that, everybody in those categories were in their 30s and 40s. Every last single one of them. So when people say that, you're too old for this, you everything is this is a young man's game, this is a young person's game. Nobody want to hear what you have to say. You're too old. That is just some bull, honestly, because I feel like, people say that to try to age people out of a situation, when that's not right. Because people who, are 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 plus, shoot, we just saw Joni Mitchell, and she gotta be what, 80, 90 years old, perform at the Grammys. And she just put out an album the other day. Like, you can't sit up here and tell me that I'm too old for this. If I have something to contribute to the conversation, if I have quality product that I'm trying to put out there, then you not giving it a chance is just hating. I'm sorry, but it's just hating. As long as it's not hurting anybody, as long as it's good product and good quality, let these people live. Because you know what? You're going to be that age too. And you're going to be highly upset when somebody tosses you to the side because you're 10 years past your prime. Man, get out of here. So now we're going to get into our watch list of the week. So this week's watch list of the week is about a TV show that I've just became hip to. I know that we just had our, was it Emmys, a couple weeks ago. And with the Emmys, they were able to showcase some shows that I had no knowledge of at all. One of them being the Chippendales docuseries type show. That was really good. But I want to talk about this show that I discovered or just found out about, and it's called The Bear. The Bear is such a good show. I'm a sucker for shows that have a lot of grit to it, that has a lot of character development and psychological kind of like battles and things like that, or like purpose type of shows. Like, in this show, it's about a guy who is like a really masterful chef. He's gone and done great things and worked at basically the best restaurant in the world. But when his brother passes, he has to come back and manage his brother's business in Chicago. And, with this business, you have different kind of people working in the restaurant, but you have this black woman who's his sous chef. She's just as brilliant, but she's very naive in a lot of things. Like, she's kind of impatient and she just wants to be seen and things like that. And they kind of conflict a little bit, but then they grow closer together. And then he has his brother's best friend who, is basically upset, not dealing with the grief of the loss of his friend, but he's, a good guy, and has a good heart overall. So that show, just with all the characters and kind of getting the culture of Chicago and things like that, and then the food, just learning how, culinary, facts and things like that, it's such a good show. So now we're going to get into our tune of the week. And this week's tune of the week features a song that I have been playing since I caught wind on it on somebody's IG reel. And that is Glorilla's Yeah Glow. Now this is Valentine's Day weekend. You know, if you are turning up with your girls for Valentine's Day, then this song is absolutely perfect for that. Glorilla is one of those artists that, I kind of enjoyed when she first came out. She had F and F. It was a moment. Everybody twerking outside of their cars, which I did not like, but I understood the moment. But her follow-up songs, they were okay, but I really really enjoyed this song. When I heard the snippet, I was like, I got I'm bopping a little bit. I'm bopping a little bit. This is really good. So when I saw the video that come out, I think it was like last night, honestly. I was like, okay, I could really see this being the new summer, kind of turn up song. And I think, like, again, we're all ready to have a really good summer. I think we're long overdue for a good summer. Since COVID, it has just been a little sketchy. It's been a little, it's just haven't been the same. And honestly, since pre-COVID. So if we can have some songs that gets us in the good mood again, then by all means. And I really do think that this song is one of them. She, is the accent itself is what makes this song. Honestly, I think the accent is like 50% of what makes this song so catchy. Is because she's from Memphis, so she has a really interesting accent, and it's really cute. So if you want to check it out, it's called Yeah Glow. It has a bop, to it. It is the perfect Valentine's Day song. It's the perfect getting ready song. So check it out, the video as well as the song, because it just came out last night. So that is it. I told y'all it was going to be a short episode. I didn't want to hold you too long. I just give you a little something that, so I hadn't put out an episode in a few weeks. So I really just wanted to catch up with you guys and wish you guys a happy Valentine's Day, happy Lovers Day, happy season, all that good stuff. If it's Aquarius season, happy birthday to all of y'all. I know that Pisces is coming up. Happy birthday to y'all too. So enjoy yourselves. I really do feel like be intentional with how you're feeling. Be intentional with your happiness this season, honestly, because as we gearing up and revving up for our comeback, we got to put in the work now to really start doing what it is that we want to be doing for the rest of the year. So I will be seeing you guys soon. Make sure that you like and share and subscribe. Send this to your people. Send this to your girls. Send this to, those who need to hear this message about your season. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.